Welcome to Playfully Orange, our conversations on Thursday afternoons about arts and culture here in Central Florida. My guest today is Erin Sullivan from the Orange County Public Library System. Welcome, Erin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Erin, I know you grew up in upstate New York and began your career as a journalist, I believe, in Albany and in Baltimore before coming to the Orlando Weekly. So in those positions, were you covering the arts?
Well, I was working for community papers, so you kind of have to cover a little bit of everything. But my primary job when I was in Albany was covering state politics. And then when I moved to Baltimore, I was a news editor. So I did a lot of all sorts of things. We covered crime, we covered politics, we covered just interesting human interest stories, but there was some arts coverage as well as some food coverage in that job.
And now you're at the Orange County Public Library System. What does the library have to do with our arts, visual and performing?
I think the library has a lot more to do with art than people realize. At the very basic level, here at the Orlando Public Library, we always have art on display. We feature local artists. We have interesting shows that probably fly under the radar for a lot of people. We had the work of a graffiti artist here back in, August, September. We have displays for Hispanic Heritage Month, and we had some really beautiful pieces by a couple of local Hispanic artists that were on the walls here. At the branches, we often have local artists who display kind of to their communities. Each of our branches serves a little bit of a unique community that lives close by that branch. So artists in Winter Garden have the opportunity to show at the Winter Garden branch, or maybe at the Alafaya branch on the east side. So that's kind of our very basic level. But then I feel like libraries are also a place where we exist to kind of encourage people and inspire people and give them opportunities to learn more about things like basic arts. For instance, we do watercolor type classes in some of our locations. So you can learn the basics of how to use watercolor. We used to do a creative coloring class where one of our graphic designers used to teach people really intricate and beautiful ways of using colored pencils or crayons to create great designs. So it's kind of a place where if you don't know where to start or how to start or what's going to inspire you, you can come to the library. You can find out what we have to offer, jump in, and it's free. So there's really no risk to getting involved, and you can learn all sorts of interesting, unique things. And even digital arts, that's obviously huge these days. We have tons of courses that can teach people how to use creative, Adobe Creative Cloud and other kinds of things to become digital artists too.
And these are classes not just at the central library, but also in the branches?
Correct. We have 15 locations in Orange County, so Orlando Public Library is the biggest, but then we have 14 other branches out there. We try to reach a pretty broad section of the community. So as far east as Alafaya, as far west as Winter Garden right now, as far north as Apopka, as far south as South Creek, right near the Osceola County line. So there are branches all over the place, and they all offer something creative that people can get involved in. And because of the pandemic, we had to get really creative about offering virtual things to people too. So some of our courses are now offered online, live online courses, or via Zoom with library instructors. So even if you don't feel like you're ready to get to a library in person right now, you can get online and find virtual events that you can learn some of these things as well.
But at the Orlando Library, the central one, you have some pretty great specialized facilities, like for, as you said, digital and media. You also have, you can do some fabric art, right? You have like a sewing lab. So some interesting facilities that are available to people.
Yeah, so here at Orlando Public Library, we have the Melrose Center on the second floor, and that is a high-tech creative hub. It's amazing. If you haven't visited, people should come visit it. It has a full-service professional audio studio where you could literally make an album from scratch, bring your musicians in and so on. And we have a professional soundboard and everything. We have a video studio. We have photo studio that you can use. We have all the software you need to edit the pieces that you make in those studios. We also have classes to teach you how to use them. So again, for people who don't know where to start, you can come to the library and you can take a how to use, any Adobe Creative Cloud software. You could also learn how to use some of the mixing softwares for the soundboard in the audio studio. You can learn how to edit video professionally, how to use Photoshop, and how to use the camera equipment. And in fact, we require, before people can actually just check these spaces out and use them for their projects, that they show us that they can use them, that they know how to use the equipment, or that they take a class to learn it before they check it out. So once you've reached a certain level of proficiency, you just use your library card and reserve, say, the photo studio for an hour for your project.
Well,
and we do have that sewing studio too. Yes, that's awesome.
And you also have 3D printers. But question, before you worked at this library, like when you were in Baltimore, Albany, did you use the library much?
I did, but I really didn't take advantage of the kinds of things that we have here, partly because this library system is pretty unique. We have a lot more, I think, than most libraries offer, partly because our community is huge. We serve a really large population. We have had a lot of generous donations, and the Melrose Center, in fact, was made possible by a private donor, Ken Melrose, and the Melrose Family Foundation, who wanted to honor his mother with a generous donation to the library because she was a public school teacher here and felt strongly that people should be able to have access to technology and creative projects. And after a lot of conversations, turned into the Melrose Center. So yeah, my past library experiences were not as robust as the ones I've had since I've moved to Orange County.
Well, moving outside the library into the rest of the community here, I know you go to things, and I think your background in school was in the visual arts. Is probably more your area. I see a piece behind you there. Are you out? Are you purchasing things?
I do. I am a huge fan of buying local art wherever I live. And since I'm in Orlando now, I'm really focused on Central Florida artists. The piece behind me, it's just a simple window calendar by Bryce Stevens, who's no longer here. I own pieces by Karen Russell and Andrew Spear. I was just at Pom Pom's Tea House a few weeks ago, and I walked in and I saw a piece that just struck me. And I left and I kept thinking about the piece, and I was just buying a sandwich, but I saw this and I kept coming back to my head. So I just went back and I bought it. So I try to support local artists, and I really think that's important for the community to do if they want their local art scenes to thrive.
Yes, well, we appreciate you being part of that. Any other thoughts or perspectives about our arts and culture here in Central Florida as compared to maybe your past lives in Baltimore or Albany?
Well, I've lived in this town for 11 years now, and I think I've seen it change a lot over that time. When I got here, I feel like I would meet a lot of people who would go somewhere else. They'd be here for a while and they would move to another city. Whereas in Baltimore and Albany, I felt like a lot of people were they were there. They got there and they never left. But over time, I've noticed a lot of people come here and they stay here and they make Orlando more of their home. They're not using it as I'm going to be here for a while and then see what's next, which is really great because it means we're really able to take advantage of the depth of talent that people have and being able to see their careers progress. And I love, I've met a lot of artists over the years I've been here, and I love seeing on Facebook, watching them, like I knew so-and-so when they were just showing at this one gallery here in town, and now they're doing national work for, album covers or mural work for commercial projects. And it's so exciting to see. So I think this town, the scene here is maturing quite a bit, and I love it.
If someone wants to perform or exhibit at the library, what do they do?
If people want to perform here, we do have a form online for presenting an event. And we have a little search box at the bottom of our website, ocls.info, and you can just type present event and that form will come up. We have a whole department that is dedicated to putting on those events, and they're great. They're professional. They're always looking for cool, fresh, new ideas, interesting things that will appeal to people. So you fill out the form and someone gets back to you and they talk to you about your idea and figure out whether it's a right fit for the library or not. For art shows, that falls within this department. So it's pretty simple. You would just email us with your pitch. Basically, I have a show. I have this time frame in mind for it. someone will get back to you. And the email for that is MPR, Marketing and Public Relations, MPR @ocls.info. And someone from our department will get back to you and talk to you about your show. And again, make sure it's a good fit for the library and put the plans into motion.
That domain is OCLS, Orange County Library System.
That is correct. Yeah, and it's .info. It's not .org or .com. It's .info.
Great. Well, it's great talking to you, Erin. Thank you for this conversation. And thank you for those of you watching here on catching this on Facebook or wherever you're catching this. And I also do a conversation on Tuesdays about diversity, Diverse Orange. And we encourage you to listen and get to know some of the folks in our community. We have really interesting people like Erin Sullivan right here. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.